Hey, it's Phil Thatch, and I'm here at Wanderlinger Brewing, and Heather and I are going to be shooting tonight. Heather has got her Z50, and I have my Z50, and we're going to have us a little Nikon Z series APS-C festival tonight. We have 4 lenses. She has her Tamron 45 1.8, and we have my Nikon 24 to 70 2.8, and my 70 to 200 2.8, and my 85 1.8. So I'm not sure what we're going to shoot with. We're just going to kind of mix and match and share lenses. And tonight it's 4 Lions and Friends, and we got Marcus Killikeys, we got Tyler Martelli, we got, I think, Fiddlin' Faye. We got all sorts of great musicians tonight. And let's make some pictures. Not really fond of the lighting in this venue from a photography standpoint, but during this moment, this was Soundcheck, which was about an hour or so before they actually started playing, and none of the lights were on, and there was still plenty of ambient daylight, so this photo came out really nice. And then after Soundcheck, the band went outside and kind of hung around for a while, and I liked the way the light was coming in on the headstock of this Carvin made in USA guitar. And now the show has actually started, and the lights are on, and the white balance is tricky, so I had to go to black and white on this one. This is the first photo of Heather's in the video. All of Heather's photos will say Nikon Z50 at the bottom left, and mine will say Nikon ZFC. And she's using the 70 to 200 at this time, and at this time I'm using the 24 to 70. And I don't think Heather ever used the 24 to 70, but I used the 70 to 200, and we both used the 85. This is Fiddlin' Faye, and this is the first time Heather or I, either one, have been to a music situation where she was playing. It was cool that she was there. And you can see Marcus Killer Keys White over on the drums, which is fun. He's normally a piano and keyboard player, but during this first song he played drums. And there is Tyler Martelli with his Stay Positive hat. Tyler plays about every instrument you can name, but on this particular occasion, he was playing bass guitar. And here is one of my photos of Marcus concentrating as he plays the drums. It was a treat to see Marcus play the drums. I've seen him play the drums a couple of times before, and here's Heather's photograph of Marcus enjoying himself playing the drums. Now, Marcus's brother, Jared White, is an amazing drummer. Marcus is more of a keyboard player, but he's no slouch on the drums. And it's always fun to make photographs of Joel 4Lines because he makes really expressive and emotional faces while he's playing guitar. And so it's a joy to make photographs of him. He makes it kind of easy on the photographer. You don't have to wait long to get a good pose out of him. And here is my shot of Fiddlin' Faye playing her violin there at Wanderlinger. Heather did a really nice job, I thought, of capturing good emotional moments from the musicians. Here she has Fiddlin' Faye kind of smiling, and here's my shot of Joel 4Lines as he is really giving you a big grin and singing at the same time. And the next photograph is, I think, the next one in the sequence. I'm kind of taking turns now with our pictures, and this is, I think, in that same sequence as the previous picture of Fiddlin' Faye smiling as she plays. And there is Marcus Killer Keys White on the instrument that you would normally expect him to be playing, a keyboard. And man, he is brilliant on that instrument. Here's Heather's photograph, another one of her photographs. She's still using the 70 to 200, and she is photographing Joel 4Lines in this shot. And this next shot is my photograph, and I have been using the 85 f1.8 for a number of these shots. I like this shot because you can kind of see some sparkle in both of his eyes. And now look, Heather is still using the 70 to 200. Now we both used the 70 to 200 and we both used the 85, and both of us decided that we thought the 70 to 200 was much sharper than the 85 f1.8G, which I used to make this shot of Taylor, the drummer, for the evening. He did a great job. And here is another photograph of Fiddlin' Faye. Heather is still using the 70 to 200. I think my full band shot at the beginning I used the 24 to 70. And look, here is another one of my shots. I've switched to the 24-70, and here's a full band shot with everybody playing the instrument that you would normally expect them to play, so that's pretty cool. Here's another one of Heather's shots of Taylor as he's playing the drums there at Wanderlinger. And now look, now Heather is using the 85 f1.8 because I am using the 70-200. And boy, I was happy to switch from the 85 to the 70-200, but the 85 did okay. I mean, I could have shot the whole night with the 85 and been fine. As you can see, Heather didn't have any problems getting a nice sharp photograph of Marcus Killer Keys White with the 85. And man, it was nice to put that 70-200 on. This is the first time I've shot with my Nikon 70-200 in a while. I've been using my Canon. There's several shots from both Heather and I of Joel Forlines that we treated in black and white that came out really nice. And here's one of Heather's shots using the 85 f1.8 of Joel. And at that time, I was using the 70-200, and I made this photograph of Fiddlin' Faye. I got a little bit of a smile out of her in this shot. And next up, we got Marcus Killer Keys White, Heather's photograph of him using the 85 f1.8G. Look, she was using a little bit slower shutter speed than I was, 1/160th. I think my slowest was 1/200th, and I tried to stay like this shot right here around 1/250th. Here's a shot of mine of Joel Forlines with the 70-200. And the next two in the sequence I'm really fond of. But let's go back to one of Heather's shots. And look, she's using the 70-200. So these are not exactly in order. All of mine are in order and all of hers are in order. But the order between the two is a little bit off because we weren't using the 70-200 at the same time. I love this shot that I made of Joel. And you can see I'm at 1/250th f2.8. And I needed 3600 ISO for that. I love this shot that Heather made using that same lens, the 70-200 f2.8 of Killer Keys, as he's making kind of an interesting expression. And this is one of my favorite shots of the entire night, just kind of the next one or one of the next ones in the sequence of photos of mine that I've been sharing. 4500 ISO. Here's Heather's shot of Taylor as he is playing the drums over by the window. Got some nice light on this shot. You know, the lights themselves were hard to do white balance with, but the light itself, there was enough of it to get some quality black and white photos. But sometimes I like to have some color photos now and again. I love this shot that Heather made using the 70-200, which you'll find that both of us preferred the 70-200. And there's Taylor playing the drums. And here's one of my shots with the 70-200 of Fiddlin' Faye, but this time she's not playing her fiddle. She is putting in some vocals, so that was pretty cool. Here's Heather. She got a shot of Taylor as he's playing the drums, and he's looking right at her and smiling, so that was pretty awesome. And I think my next shot is of Tyler Martelli as he's playing the bass, and look, most of the shots from both of us are with the 70-200, and I think that's really funny because we were sharing the same lens. So we picked 70-200 shots to share with you because they came out better. So that is a good example of how that super premium Holy Trinity lens is more valuable than the moderately priced 85 f1.8G. Here's another one of Heather's photos, also with the 70-200 of Tyler as he's playing the bass. And this shot I've gone back over to the side of the stage and made a shot of Marcus, just a little bit of Marcus and kind of everything else bokeh-fied, trying to be artistic. And here is Heather's shot. She's using the 70-200 on this one. Wow, look, 9,000 ISO. She's gone up to 1/320th. I was having some troubles with motion blur as well. I never shot as slow as some of her shots were at 1/160th, but some of mine, including this one, I went up to 1/320th of a second to try to freeze the action a little bit. Now here is a vertical shot that I made of Fiddlin' Faye with the 85 f1.8 at f1.8 that I thought turned out really nice. And here is a photograph that I made with the 85 1.8 of Marcus as he is wearing that keyboard out. It's fun to hear him play. He always is very entertaining. And now I'm back with the 70-200, and I've made a 200mm shot from the side of the stage, kind of an up-close shot of Fiddlin' Faye. And then this next shot is what I call the Ray Soldano shot, the first person I ever saw to make a photograph of someone else's cell phone screen while they were making a photograph with a bokeh-fied background was Ray Soldano. So there's a tribute to my good buddy Ray Soldano. Well, that was totally awesome. We had a great time. Heather and I both made photographs. She used the Z50 the whole time, and she probably used the 70-200 f2.8G VR2 the most of that time, and I used the 85 f1.8G, and I used the 24-70 f1.8G, but Heather, also, you used the 85 some too. Yep. So we got to use a lot of F-mount lenses tonight doing music photography, and it was really cool getting to hear Joel 4 Lines and getting to hear Marcus Killer Keys and a lot of other great musicians, and it was really cool. We one of the best musicians in all of Chattanooga, Jessica Nunn, sat with us, and that was fun. And we appreciate you hanging out with us. Hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye from Heather and Phil and our Nikon APS-C Z mount cameras. Bye-bye.